Hi, everyone. I am Donna Reid, and this is Donna Reid Talks Voice.
And it was interesting watching your lesson as someone who is very focused on what is happening in the mechanism right now rather than prepping myself for material that I have to do later. You were very in tune with what was happening. It's a very Donna, you're right. It's a very different experience, right? To have a lesson with An that's probably speaking of satisfying for you as a teacher because you're getting in the moment feedback about what is happening in the mechanism for her at this very moment.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
I guess my question for you on is how are you in attuning to your mechanism? It's actually a good lesson for everybody who's taking a lesson. How what are you thinking about and focusing on, I think is my question. What are you focusing on during your lesson that's allowing you to be so articulate about what you're experiencing?
Hmm. It's a tough question. Good question, but not the easy one. I think that it starts with my trust in Donna. So I don't have to prove anything to anyone, and there is no pressure at all. So it starts with that. And then throughout my experience with Donna, I realized that everything changes all the time. So I'm not relying anymore on how it feels. I'm relying more and more on my ear, and also I try not to control anything.
Mhm.
Just have enough energy to do what she's asking me to do it in the proper way. But this comes throughout the lessons I've had with her, because I've tried so many different things. I was visualizing things, and as it went along, it changed. Everything changed as my vocal cords started to be freer. The sensations were completely different. So whatever I tried to visualize before was, I certainly shouldn't do it anymore. So, little by little, I realized that the less I did, except for making sure I had enough energy, um, the better it came out. I think
Yeah,
that's.
yeah, that's how it should be exactly. And the key thing that you said is relying less on how it feels and more on just hearing it.
Mhm.
And that's the way people. It takes people a long time to come to that realization, if they ever do. If they ever do.
One thing that you both were discussing in the beginning was, freeing your voice, freeing yourself, from Cornelius, and also, discovering who you are through your voice. And I think that's such an interesting concept. And and I also don't I mean am a performer, but I don't perform often, but I take lessons every week. And even if I'm not preparing for anything. In fact, most of the time I'm not preparing for anything. Um, and one thing that I was curious about is, do you sing repertoire at all? I don't even mean in performance, but like, are there songs that you sing at all, even in your house, that you're gearing yourself not gearing yourself up for, because that's the wrong concept here. But do you sing repertoire? I guess is my main question.
I'm sorry, I don't even know what the repertoire is.
It's
So
just
maybe
songs. Do
that
you
answers
sing
our
any
songs.
songs?
Yes, but they are not classical songs ever, except for the one we're trying to work on, which is O mio babino caro.
Mhm.
But I never sing it so far. I've never sung it so far. I'm waiting for the notes to be right. I don't want to, as Donna says, or Cornelius made. She says, practice makes permanent. So I'm waiting for the right notes to do it. But I do sing pop songs where in mostly, or American standards.
Sure. American Songbook standards.
They're older songs, not contemporary ones.
Yeah, that's amazing. And then when you're looking for songs, do you, I mean, I know that you're not looking to be performer, but when you are deciding a song that you want to work on, is it for the specific purpose of more vocal work? Or do you hear a song and you're like, oh, I would like to sing that, and then you bring that in and say, maybe we can work on this for particular pieces? I don't even know if that's an appropriate question in the context of how you do it.
Well, I rarely sing songs with Donna. Sometimes, but just one or two phrases. So it's not
Right.
really the purpose of that. No, when I look for a song, it's really both the lyrics and primary the lyrics and also the melody.
Mhm.
And I usually, when I look for songs, I listen for the first 20 seconds, and then I know whether I want it or not. I don't need to go any further unless, it takes a long time to come in. But I kind of immediately know whether it's the kind of song I want to sing or not. And
So
the
interesting.
lyrics. Yeah.
And
Very
Anna
cool.
said to me before that when she said she looks primarily for the lyrics, she really looks primarily for the lyrics. It could she could like the melody, but if it's not saying what she would like to express, or the lyrics don't have any meaning to her, she's just not interested in the song.
So
So
interesting.
yeah, that is interesting. I think that's fascinating that one looks at a song that way. What is it saying before I even think about the melody? I mean, of course the two are together, but she's really heavy on what is it saying, and do I like the words, which I think is a valid way to approach a song.
Except,
Absolutely.
one comes to mind that would answer the second part of your question, whether it would be a vocal exercise. There's this song, I don't even know who sings it, a Chandelier. I'm sure you know.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah,
the
it's a Sia
exercise
song.
of going high and then going back to the regular voice and changing, from one to the complete extreme. That is interesting. And when it's something so different, then I would not listen to the lyrics. But it has to be very interesting, vocally speaking, for me to want to listen to that.
That is a very fun song to say. It is a vocal exercise for sure, that song.
Yeah.
Nellie, let me ask you the same question. So what makes you choose a song? Oh, I want to sing that song.
Do I think that it's about, do I think it would be a satisfying sing?
Okay.
Like, so Donna and I talk a lot about, like, the thing that trips me up in a lesson is whether or not that musical phrase is satisfying to sing, right? And and a lot of the time Donna makes it so easy that it's not that satisfying. I'm always like, that's not satisfying at all. But she's like, but it's
I want
easy
to
and it
work
sounds
harder.
great.
So the word
Um,
you're looking for is challenging, because I don't understand satisfying.
I think more, I'm looking for how could my chest voice come through in this song, right? Is it a belty song? Like, I'd like to belt my face off if possible. And so do I think it'll be a fun belt? And for a good example there is, Bonnie Milligan has a song in Head Over Heels, the musical. And she's belting G's up. I mean, it's really high. She's belting high, 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 high. And gosh, man, I know I have those notes. Those notes I'm very certain I have. And it's very rare that it exists in a piece of music, because most people don't have those notes. So they don't write it. I mean, even in Wicked, Defying Gravity, what does it pop up to, Donna? An E or an F? Like, it pops up to it for a second. But the main belting notes in Defying Gravity are what, C, B flat,
No,
C.
I think I'm trying to I've worked it so many times.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's around. It's above the C. It's like D, E flat, E, F. It hangs around there.
Right. But the main extended notes are not that high. They're
No,
impressive, but
not
they're
up the
not that
G.
high.
Right.
And I know like Sarah Bareilles' Gravity, the big high note is not that high. She just can really sing it with full passion. And so you feel it in your soul when you hear it. You're like, ah. But she, in her book, even, she was like, the note's not that high. She's like, I just throw my head back when I do it and it makes people impressed, which I thought was hilarious. And
Well,
so for me,
sorry. Go
do I
ahead. No,
think
I
that
was just gonna
do I
go ahead.
think that the sing will feel meaty and satisfying to me?
Since you said that, it came to mind that one of my students was doing a show, and the music director said, "It's not how much you belt that last note; it's how long you hold it." So you don't have to belt your face off with that last note. You just have to hold it a long time, and then the audience goes wild. So I'm giving that hint to all of the people who are listening to this. It doesn't have to be that, just like throw your head back and make it look impressive.
And extend
It
it.
can be mixy as long as you're holding it forever. Just
Yeah.
hold it forever and people will go crazy. So, you don't have to do the wham wham.
Yeah. Yeah. But I like to do the wham wham.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's
May I ask
fun.
you why? May I ask you why? Is it just the challenge of the technique, or does that correspond to something in your personality, or
I
in
th- that's a
something you
great
live?
question. That's a great question. I haven't really thought about if it has anything to do with my personality, frankly, but probably. I mean, probably there's like just something that wants to just like wail. I don't know. I don't know. Donna, maybe you can speak to that a little better. You know my personality and my voice.
Yeah, maybe that kind of sound just feels like it releases something for you.
Yeah,
It's
for
just
sure.
like like sometimes you just need to go, ah, you know what I mean? I mean, not in a negative way or an angry way or whatever, but
Yeah,
just
yeah.
sometimes you just have to release something.
Yeah, let it
So
out.
yeah, just kind of get it out. So maybe that's
Yeah.
it. Now that's
Yeah.
interesting that you say that. What does that for me is, those notes up there, a high soprano, G, A flat, full operatic, that does that for me.
Mhm.
That's the one I like, because I'm not a belter, I just, that, it's fine. You want to, that's great, but that's not what does it for me. It's not that kind of chest voice. It's a different kind of chest voice, head voice mix. I always say that I used to belt opera before I could do it better because Cornelius taught me. Fix my voice, but that's the release for me, being able to sing like a high G or a high A flat or something, just that operatic. Whoa!
Yeah.
So, Donna, how do you recommend singers approach choosing the right song for their voice?
The first and foremost thing is it has to be a song where you can easily sing all the notes. A lot of people choose a song because they want to sing it, but the high note's a little difficult, the low note's a little difficult, the belt is a little difficult. That's not going to be a good song for you, because you want to make sure that technically you can sing the song. And then, of course, once you can technically sing the song, it has to be a song that you like. Don't sing a song because somebody said, "Oh, this song's good for you," and you don't like it. So technically, you should be able to sing it. You should be able to like it. And then those are the reasons.
I have a follow-up on that one, Donna. If there's a song that you want to sing, but the notes are not easy for you, so how do you work the notes to get them to the place where you can sing them properly so that you can then sing the song?
How to do that on your own, I don't know that that's even possible. You have to be studying with somebody who can just free your voice, because it's a question of freeing up your voice. And how do you do that? If everybody could do that on their own, then nobody'd need a voice teacher. So you basically have to have somebody help you free your voice.
Call Donna. If there's a song that you don't know how to sing because you don't have the notes, you should definitely call Donna Reid.
It goes with what you say, that those vocal cords are involuntary muscles.
Yes.
So since they are involuntary, one cannot do anything about it on their own. We have to have somebody set it up for us, right?
Pretty much, unless you know how to work an involuntary system. I mean, Cornelius fixed his own voice, which was a miracle. I don't know how he did that, but working on your own voice is very difficult, even if you kind of know what you're doing.
Great. All right, everybody.
All right, we're good.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Anne, for joining us again.
Yeah,
Donna,
thank you.
thank
It
you.
was so interesting. It's going to be a really good episode. I'm very happy you did this. Thank you.
Thank you, Donna.
Thanks for watching Donna Reid Talks Voice. If you have any questions for me about this episode, or if you'd like to join me on a future episode, please visit DonnaReidTV.com and click Contact.